Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old Joe Road. Are you ready to go? We're with Micky Shearon. Am I saying that name right?
You are.
Micky Shearon with the Granbury Theater in Texas. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great today, Jake. How are you?
Good, good. We're good. Micky, give us a little background on you and how you got to your position there at the theater.
Well, it's we're located in a relatively kind of a rural community. It's we're about 35, 40 miles southwest of the Fort Worth, Dallas area in Granbury, Texas. And I've lived here about 37 years, and got started in stage theater back in high school and college, and then got married and started having a family, and got out of it for a few years, and then got back involved as a volunteer at the historic Granbury Opera House about I guess total about.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old Joe Road. Are you ready to go?
And I kind of got the theater bug again. Some fella that was supposed to be in a show injured his back, and they needed somebody like literally the Wednesday before we went into Tech Week, and and I was the only one standing around, so I kind of got voluntold that I was gonna, be in the show, and that was about 14 years ago, and here I am today. I became a board member of Granbury Theater Company back in 2014, and then became board president in 2015, and then took over as executive director in 2016.
Very
so
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so that's my background.
Did you marry in the theater? Did you meet her in the theater arts, or completely separate?
No, actually,
Okay.
as kind of a lot of people I think would say their spouses are the direct opposite. My lovely bride has always been so supportive of all the time I spend at the theater, but she is 180 degrees opposite of me. She would absolutely feel like you were trying to shoot her if you tried to pull her on stage.
Very cool. All right, tell us about the theater.
Well, we are a community theater. We're a regional community theater. Okay. Have always been a community theater since my involvement with it. And we are in, as I said, in a historic venue. The Granbury Opera House was built in 1886. That's where we perform. The venue is actually owned by the city of Granbury. It's a municipal building. And we lease. We have the lease on the building and the management and production contract. So we manage the facility and produce all the shows that go on there. We're about a just under 300 seat facility. We operate 51 weekends out of 52. Wow. We have something on stage all the time. We run a 9-show Broadway season that usually consists of like 6 musicals and 3 straight plays, and those usually run anywhere from 3 to 5 weekends depending on what the show is. Okay. And then we also run a few years ago we started a tribute concert series where we have tribute bands come in, and we're a predominantly retirement community, and we the classic rock from this from the 70s and 80s it fits our demographic sweet spot, and so we use those shows, those tribute concerts, as one weekend shows that we put in between our Broadway shows.
Oh yeah.
And then we have a few special events throughout the year. So like I say, we take off the first weekend of January, and we're blowing and going the next 51.
Because you're at that volume and that intensity, what level of company, like how many different actors, actresses, musicians do you guys have that are able to rotate through?
Well, we have a large company of actors, obviously over the years that we keep in our in our stable, and we stay in pretty good contact with everybody. We have open auditions for every single Broadway show. We don't. I won't say that we don't do any pre-casting at all, but it is extremely rare. And otherwise, we do open auditions for everything. We have probably all together in our entire company of actors, performers, we probably have close to 300 people in our stable. And now, obviously, not all of those, come out and audition for every single show. But we have 20 full-time staff that work at the Granbury Opera House. We have our own in-house production management team. We have our own costume department, our own set shop, and construction folks. We have our own technical director, then our box office people. So all told, it's 20 staff members.
Mercy sakes. Very cool. Very cool. That's a lot as it goes through there. What is it about live performance, live production for you that drew you in?
What is a live production like?
So as you were in your youth, what was it about live performance that drew you in
just without question, just the unpredictability of it all. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. You can rehearse and everything go just so, just right during rehearsals, and you never know. You get on stage, a prop doesn't, appear, or, some tech doesn't work, lights decide to have a mind of their own. Somebody drops a line, and, I think that's one of the things that really appealed to me. Is it's very exciting, because again, you just never know what you're going to get. The other thing that really appealed to me is just the feeling of working, coming together as a group of 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people that are predominantly strangers, when you come together, and in a very short, cohesive, or a very short concentrated amount of time, you build something very cohesive and very and very beautiful, that you put together over the course of 4 or 5 weeks. And and that's really gratifying, to be a part of something like that. And even if I'm not a part of a particular cast, I serve as one of the producers also at our theater. And so even if I'm not personally involved in the cast, just being a part of that and helping provide the resources for our directors and all of their artistic designers, to enable them to be able to put this beautiful thing on stage, it's very gratifying.
Yeah, that's very good insight. Absolutely. All right, let's have fun with a couple of questions. What's your all-time favorite live production you've ever seen?
That I've ever seen?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I think, a lot of people might think I would pick one like Phantom of the Opera. I did was very blessed to see that a few years ago on Broadway and everything. And it is a absolutely brilliant, beautiful piece of art. But I think if I had to pick my own sentimental favorite, my favorite show I've ever seen live would be Finding Neverland.
Okay.
And that might come as a surprise to a lot of people, but the music on that show, and I was fortunate enough to see when the original Broadway cast with Matthew Morrison and Kelsey Grammer, and
fantastic. Yeah.
Just a phenomenal experience. And but that is probably one of the most beautiful shows that I've ever seen. And I've always been a sucker for a Peter Pan story. So
Sure,
yeah.
sure. Absolutely. All right. Last question. You could bring one production, one live performance to the Granbury Theater that is no longer active, never will be active again. What would you bring?
Wow. Well, I'm not sure I really know of any that are just not available anymore that I would bring. I will let me shift gears on you a little bit.
Okay.
and tell you one that and it's a relatively new show. As a matter of fact, it just closed on Broadway, but I've seen it live, and it is one of my favorite shows I've seen probably definitely in the last 10 years or so, and that is Come From Away.
Okay.
If that show became available tomorrow, I would try to move heaven and earth to bring it to the Granbury Opera House.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How can people find out more about what's going on at the Granbury Theater?
Very easy. Of course, we're on social media. They can find us at Granbury Theater. They can also go to our website at granburytheatercompany.org, and they can find us on the web. And we also have a Facebook and Instagram accounts.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Micky. I appreciate you.
Jake, thanks, man. Appreciate you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle